Here with Aaron Brooks, the day before Final X, getting ready to go here at 86 kilograms. How's your preparation been from the open to this point?
Really just being present, just having fun in the room, working my tactics, making sure my body feels good, really just a lot of isolation. I'm an introvert anyways, so I like to be in my room kind of, just praying or doing my own things, talking to family back at home. So just keeping it the same as I do, anytime competition's coming up.
What were your takeaways from your match against Zahid Valencia? You had a comeback match there, used your pace well. What were your takeaways there?
Just that, God's always with me. I think a lot of times, one thing I love about wrestling, and I know it's part of the reason why God called me to wrestle, is that it's not always pretty, so sometimes things don't go your way, but when I went down 6-0, I was like, okay, God brought me to this tournament for a reason. So just having faith in that, and then that's whenever I shot and scored, and then shot again and scored, and I was like, all right, he was just testing me, so just remembering that I'm out there with him, I'm not alone. So
your pace was a weapon there, but you're going against David, whose pace is maybe one of his biggest weapons, along with his arsenal. What do you think are the advantages you might bring to the table against someone as great as David Taylor?
I don't think he's gonna wrestle me hard. I think he's gonna kind of try to be the veteran. He's not gonna hand fight too much because he knows we both kind of have a pace. So I don't think that's if he's wrestling someone he knows he can get really tired, he's gonna go out there and kind of overexert there. But I think we both know that we have really good gas tanks. So I think it'll be a tactical match more than anything.
When was the last time you trained with David?
I say the last time we wrestled, honestly, was the week before I wrestled NCAs in 2022. So it's been about over a year for sure, over a year. After I got back from NCAs for Samin that year and stuff, I didn't go wrestle in Vegas, but also, we just hadn't wrestled. That was the last time we wrestled. So it's been, about a year and a half almost. So
what can you tell me about how that was going? What you learned from that experience, training alongside him and actually wrestling David?
I think it's interesting. They kind of set it up there a little bit. I was just watching the press conference, and one thing my dad always told me is never idolize anyone. Because one day we'll be wrestling them. So it's kind of cool. I have a bunch of pictures of. I'm 12 years old. It's me with Kyle Dake, me with Burroughs. I have pictures with David when I was younger. So I think it's really, it's just cool. It goes to show that God's put me on the right path, and he's been speaking to me from a young age through others, through my dad and these kind of stuff. So it's really cool.
How have you been able to come up with what's your process for coming up with a game plan against an opponent, it's particularly one where you have weeks and weeks to prepare for one person?
It's interesting. I like it, because you don't really get that much in wrestling because you got to run through a whole tournament of guys, or there's just multiple guys. You can't overlook anyone in this sport. But I think, having that one specific opponent is kind of cool. I think it gives you time to grow in certain positions and really focus on certain situations. So it's been interesting.
Do you know how is the corner working? Who's in your corner? Who's in David's? Has that been discussed?
Yeah. We discussed that ahead of time. I think it was at the Olympic trials in 2021 when they really realized, okay, a lot of our guys are going to be competing.
Yeah. With
each other in the finals. So I think after that, because they didn't really discuss it before then, and some stuff happened, some controversy. So I think now, okay, let's just be realistic. It's going to be these two guys. Let's figure this out ahead of time. That way we're not, doing somebody dirty like we did at the Olympic trials.
With that, obviously there's tension just naturally between competitors, but has the room been about as good as you can expect, given that there's all these people that are gunning for the same spot?
It's been cool. I think it's kind of what Final X kind of reminds me of is you see other sports like boxing and MMA, they have that specific opponent, but it's two different training camps. It's just funny that our two different training camps are in the same room, right? So Dig's always going to be riding with DT, and I'm closer with Nolf, so it's kind of a split of camps, but it's all love. We all know we're going to go out there and compete, but it's been interesting. Like I said, this kind of matchup has really shown there's two different camps, two different training parts. So when we cross paths, we do, but it's not too awkward.
Obviously, this is a really just interesting, unique thing for wrestling fans. It's pretty recent that you've had a room. I mean, there's maybe never been a room with the parallel of Nittany Lion. So there's a lot of fascination around that whole dynamic. So practice-wise, are you guys all in the same practice at the same time? Do you break it up? You kind of mentioned 2 camps.
Yeah, so I mean, we recently we all practice at the same time, and our coaches kind of leave it up to us to come up to competition when you want to come in. Like, it's up to us. They're not telling us you're going to be in this time. Like, hey, when are you thinking about coming in? So whenever I choose to go in, I go in. Make sure I have my partner lined up. My coach is going to be overseeing my practice, and likewise for the other guys getting ready. So like I said, there's times we cross paths where we're different sides of the room. But it's not. Yeah, our coach has done a really good job ever since. Like I said, they kind of knew. All right, our RTC's become this. We're going to have to really start being professional about this. So
yeah, your underhook is one of your greatest attributes, but David has competed very favorably against Yazdani, who's maybe one of the best underhookers in the world today. Does that plant a seed of doubt in your mind about utilizing the underhook against David?
Not at all. My underhook comes from the Holy Spirit. So
oh snap!
It's a little different than Yazdani's. So we'll see.
Okay, but from a technical perspective, do you think that it can still be a part of your arsenal?
Yeah,
tomorrow.
100%. I think how God made me, don't change it up. Like I said, God gave me these underhooks. I don't know who gave those to Yazdani. Maybe a club coach, longtime friend, but these underhooks were from God, so I'm gonna use them.
How excited are you to wrestle on a stage like Final X? You're obviously, you wrestled at big stages before, NCAAs very recently, but this is a little different.
Yeah, I think it's honestly being from the collegiate side of things. Like, you've seen the NCAA finals where they pack that thing. It just gives you such an advantage, especially that I'm recently coming off these things. Like, even I know the World Championships can get a little popular and kind of stuff, but nothing's like the NCAA tournament. Like that crowd. So I think I just pray that the Holy Spirit be present, because there'll be a lot of lives there that can be changed through my wrestling, God willing. So
yeah, I was talking with Ben earlier this week, and Ben Askren, and he was like, man, you look at 92, Zahid kind of ran through the trials there. Yeah. Why didn't Aaron Brooks go 92 kilograms? He's got a weight cut down to 86. Why did you decide that 86 was your weight?
Well, I think people know. This is a big year for the Olympics. So you go get a world medal at the Olympic weight, you're sitting into the Olympic trial finals. Yep. So that was my plan all along. And even so, I think I fit really nice at 86. I think 92 kilos is what, 203. So that'd be me usually walk around. But I feel really strong at 86 when I get down the weight the right way and do things correctly. So.
How is the cut? 84 was obviously a tougher cut for you this year, but up at 86, there's a couple more pounds. How much more comfortable do you feel that little bit more?
It reminds me of why I'm never gonna make 84 again. But I feel good. I feel like I definitely just grew. I grew big time.
Yeah.
Like even 97 will be like, it won't be like, oh, I'm just showing up and wrestling. Like, I'll be putting on my sweats for you and stuff. So I feel good though. I think part of the cutting weight is part of that suffering, brings me closer to God, because Christ suffered for us, so when I'm going through it, I'm suffering for the greater cause, so he can use me on this platform, so I like it.
Awesome. Well, I don't have any other questions for you, Aaron. Do you have anything before we let you go?
Thank you guys. Just still be vent.
Thank you, Aaron. See ya.